I feel I've experienced so much in my 20s. I suppose the Goliath, is the challenges in my industry. I think the rejections, because I think what everyone sees, what the audience sees is the victories and the accolades. 100%. But no one sees the sacrifices, the sleepless nights. For every 2 gigs I get, I missed out on 5.
Sure.
I suppose the Goliath is the challenges of being in the industry.
Okay.
Because art and design in its nature, it's a very subjective art form. So not every...
Hi guys, and welcome once again to Braving It, a platform where I get to have brave conversations with people who are killing it in their areas of responsibility. Why brave, you ask? Brave because we are divulging on those human emotions that we all experience but never really want to talk about. And so I want to do away with this pluralistic ignorance in society where we get to be raw and real about the things that we actually go through, purely with the hopes of you getting out of your own way and giving yourself a chance. So what are those emotions? We're talking fear, anxiety, self-doubt, feelings of I'm not good enough. All of that my guests will be unpacking as they brave through their own day-to-day. I'm sitting here with David Tshabalala, aka Slaying Goliath. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Thank you for coming and thank you for saying yes to a brave conversation. Finally, you can say that again. Okay, so I'm going to give the guys a rundown of who you are and what you've done with your life. Okay, so you studied graphic design at Central University of Technology in the Free State. You worked for several companies as their in-house graphic designer illustrator before establishing your own brand and design agency, Sukechi Design. This is a company that is about 6 years old?
6 years old. Now.
Okay, and has worked with local and international brands as well. All right, guys, David, aka Slaying Goliath, made it in the Mail and Guardian 200 Young South African list in 2015. He was selected as a jury member at the Art Directors Club 98th Annual Awards in 2019. He then set off to become a member of the judging panel on the Loeries Awards, which for most, as you know, are the brand communication and advertising awards in Africa and the Middle East. And you may have seen some of his work on Yogi Sip products. You may have seen limited edition t-shirts across Mr. Price stores all over the country. And of course, he worked with the likes of Converse, Netflix on their Queen Sono movie, and many other brands like Knickknacks, Audi. This guy, guys, is on fire, and I get to speak to him today. Hello, 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 and welcome. All right, David, I met you 5 years ago, so I'm not a stranger to you.
Yes.
You and I are not strangers, in case I'm begging here, you know?
Well, it's the first time we meet, I think, physically, but social media
100%, 100%.
Thing, yeah.
So we met about 5 years ago, and how we met, I remember I was looking for a gift for my mother's 60th birthday celebration. And I had a portrait of hers that I wanted to turn into a beautiful visual interpretation. And I saw your work and I loved your style. I was like, this is the guy. Let me give him a call and see if he can help. And you produced something absolutely gorgeous. You understood the brief. You were timeless with your delivery, and your cost was so realistic and affordable. So thank you for that. I don't know if I thanked you enough, but thank you for that.
Welcome.
My mother loves it. Thank you.
That's amazing.
All right, so David, you are David. And so the question I want to ask is, who or what is the Goliath that you are slaying in your life right now?
Well, I think right now, being 31, I feel like I have... Yeah.
Oh, you've done a lot, though.
I feel I've experienced so much in my 20s.
Yeah.
I suppose the Goliath, is the challenges in my industry. I think the rejections, because Because I think what everyone sees, what the audience sees is the victories and the accolades.
100%.
But no one sees the sacrifices, the sleepless nights. For every 2 gigs I get, I missed out on 5.
Sure.
I suppose the Goliath is the challenges of being in the industry.
Okay.
Because art and design in its nature, it's a very subjective art form. So not everything I do will be received or loved right away, immediately. I suppose Goliath is an ongoing battle. I don't think Goliath is someone I've defeated. I think it's someone I defeat every day.
And when you do defeat every day, there's something else that comes up, right?
Yeah.
When you said rejection, you spoke to me there. It said something to me. Were you rejected in the form of when you were looking for a job to say, this is the job I'm applying for, I'm an illustrator, I'm a graphic designer, check out my portfolio, and they were like, not good enough for our agency? Or was it as Slaying Goliath, you putting your work out there and people commenting to say, my guy, this actually isn't all that? What do you mean by rejection?
I think by rejection, I think as a younger designer a few years back, in terms of applying for work in the bigger agencies, the market is so, the industry is so, there's little space for everyone to go in. So you need to be really good to go in, even just to crack an interview. So I suppose that's what I mean by the rejection. But at one of the interviews, I was actually advised to just go to a smaller agency, start somewhere small and build up my portfolio, and eventually I can work for the big agencies.
Okay. You know, the one thing I know is that to pursue creativity, one has to be very brave and bold. I suppose one can call it creative bravery, where you have to put yourself out there, go out there, be open-minded and open about receiving new information, experiences, opinions, you know, things like that, listening and learning, and always looking forward. So really what I want to ask is, when you do put yourself out there and you put your work, because, you know, I honestly believe that you are an extension of your work. So it's very difficult to not say, but it's not me. It's a reflection of who you are, what you think, and how you express yourself. So it's the same thing. You and the work are quite related. So the question is, do you still get nervous about some of the work that you put out there in terms of how it will be received by the public?
I think it depends on the subject matter. I think my work, 90% of it, I focus on the human subject. And I interpret it, I portray it in my own style, very colorful, very playful. But I try to do justice to whatever the subject is like talking about. So most of the time I'm not that nervous because I can tell that it represents what people can feel, you know, as well.
Okay.
It depends also, because I think the nature of my work also, it's social commentary right now.
Yes.
So if something is happening with Prophet Bushiri or Jacob Zuma, if I put out artwork that shows my opinion or my take on the matter, I am going to get some mixed sort of reactions. Not because of the artwork itself technically, but because of my opinion on whether I support the people I've mentioned or not.
It's interesting because that's actually, I'm coming to my next question, and you said someone there that I want to, you know, your work, like you said, your work is quirky, it's humorous, it's even brave to some extent. I mean, I saw some of your illustrations of Trump, and I was like, this guy's brave, eh? And then I saw recently Prophet Bushiri, and you had played on the word prophet, you know, and even your stay strapped execution for World AIDS Day.
Oh wow!
You remember that? I was like, this guy is taking it far. But really, have you ever received negative responses from those people, like in the commentary section? Have you ever read something where someone is literally not impressed with how you have portrayed a public figure?
A lot, and I think to some extent, I thrive off it. I feel like if you take the effort to tell me your opinion or fight me, the artwork is that engaging.
Wow.
I think if it wasn't that great, you just move on to something else.
I love that.
And I think artists, designers in general, I think we have a responsibility to sort of express ourselves first and our opinion. So I think the work that I produce is not different to someone tweeting or updating their status about how they feel about Dr. Bushiri. I've just chosen to sort of put that out there in a visual way, and I suppose maybe that does strike a chord more than words, and I think that's art. I think art should do that. So I'm very open to debate. I'm always I think that it's healthy, it should be respectful, and luckily for social media, I'm free to block or delete any comment I don't like. But I like to just put it out there, just lay myself bare, and we have a conversation. And
No, I love that, and I want to say, please don't just restrict it to artists, artists like in the art form, because, I enjoy public speaking very much so, and I put out my content out there. Sometimes it's stuff that I've been briefed on, and other times it's just stuff that I wake up feeling that's heavy in the heart that I want to put out there. And naturally I do, wonder about how it is received. And in most cases, to be honest, I haven't had negative commentary yet, and maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I should be putting out a lot more videos to warrant some negative comments. But I love what you said, David, when you said the moment you put something out there, the fact that people are inspired to engage you and comment on it, and sometimes it's not good, but they're inspired to say something. That's someone's time that they're taking out of their day to fully watch or appreciate what you've built, produced, and then say, okay, here's my thoughts on this. I never ever thought about it that way.
That's how I see it.
Oh my word. So something that would typically crush someone, because it's personal. Your art, your form of art is personal to you. My form of art, which is public speaking, is personal to me. So when I put it out there and someone crushes it or does not receive it well, I'm like, well, how was I supposed to put it out there? Then I spend time wallowing in my own thoughts to say, maybe I didn't do it well enough. I should practice more, or I should produce better content. It becomes about you as opposed to the person who has taken the time to, converse with you on that piece.
Yeah. I think I always make the analogy to singers as well, or like musicians.
Yeah.
A singer can be talented and have a good voice, play the instrument really well, but what they're singing about, like the song, it might strike a chord with you. The subject matter you might not agree with it, which is totally fine. I think as long as you all accept that the singer is talented. So I think it's the same with me. Like, you can critique the subject matter. It will probably hurt a bit more if you critique me as an artist and say that's a bad illustration. But if you say I don't like what you're saying here, like what you're presenting, that doesn't hurt me. I think it just adds value to the piece. You see, like art galleries, when art is on the wall and art critics have their own sort of interpretations of art. That's what I love about my work. It's thought-provoking, but it's still fun and easy to consume, shareable.
100%. Wow. And obviously, I read out a few brands that you've collaborated with, that you've had the honor of working with. And there's still probably many more brands that are coming, your way. Take it. This is the part where you say I receive.
I receive it. I want to rest this time of year, but I receive from next year, January.
Next year, 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. There's obviously some brands that you've thought about to say, these are the brands that I would love to work with. I did see your mood board, by the way.
Oh, wow.
The one that you established in 2018 and revised in 2019. And I think Adidas is one of the brands that you listed there, and several other things that you'd love to accomplish. Are there any brands that you absolutely, from a principle point of view, would not love to work with?
I think because of the nature of my work, and so my audience is very vast. You can, like, from primary school kids to elders, because the nature of my work is very human, and it's easily interpreted by everyone, because it's mostly like portraiture. And I suppose, I mean, I try to stay away from, I think, like, just violence and pornography. I say this, but then I don't know what might happen that might influence me to create a piece that says my opinion about what's happening. If Zota Wabantu does something, I'm not saying she's pornography, but if she does something really crazy, I want to have my opinion on that, and I might draw a piece with her, and she might be half naked, but it doesn't mean I enjoy, that. It's just, I'm just expressing my opinion.
Sure.
Definitely I try to shy away from like just violence, strong language, pornography.
She's a beautiful spirit, that lady.
She is.
Did you see the interview with her on McG?
McG, I love the podcast.
Did you see
How did you know I know McG, or did you just assume?
No, I just assumed.
I actually started watching, like it's been a week now. I think I've watched all these. He's in like on episode 200 and something, and dude, I've watched like 5.
That guy is, but did you watch the 1 year old one?
But yeah, she's so free
and beautiful, free spirit.
Yeah, she's someone you can't break, because she just presents us how she is, so it's
she's sure of who she is and what she stands for and what she wants to represent in the world.
Yeah, see,
you can't hate that.
So I might share content on her, and someone might be like, "Why are you drawing bums?" Like, but no, this is what Wabantu. This is what she stands for. I'm just commentating on what's happening, and I'm expressing it. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. So obviously, I've seen that depending on what's happening in the world, and you've alluded to it, depending on what's happening in the world, you usually put your stuff out there very quickly. You know, you observe, you're like, hey, before it expires, let it remain current, and here's my thoughts on it. Do you ever, in the putting together and in the rushing of producing something, do you ever second guess whatever you're doing and think, you know, this actually is not good enough in the haste of producing it? Because you want it to remain current, right?
Yes.
And then you're like, let me just put it out there.
Yes, so much. I'm thinking about publishing a book also of all my work.
Okay.
And I think it would be nice to sort of show, you know, when DVDs or like when films have those at the end of the thing, like they show the scenes that they didn't use.
Yes.
Like when they messed up their lines.
Yes.
I almost want to do something like that.
Bloopers. Yes.
Yeah. So I'd like to do something like that as well. Just show the pieces that didn't like make it.
And why didn't it make it? Time? What was it?
It just doesn't look great as the final piece that you may have seen. So the Prophet Bushiri one, there's a piece that I didn't like it as much, and then I saw another reference picture of him kneeling with his hands stretched, and it was shaped like a T.
Yes.
So I could use that in that prophet sort of artwork. So that those sort of little behind the scenes things that I'd like to share, like the pieces that never made it. I think it also shows that it's not just it's not just a switch you flick on and
then magic, voila.
It's 3, 4, 5 hours behind the scenes of the work.
So exactly the 1 year Prophet Bushiri, how long did that take you to sketch and put together?
So it was 3.5 hours. Essentially what it is, it's tracing the reference picture. I think that's the way I work with that style, just to make sure that I get the proper like body features and just the proportion of the arms and legs, so that no one can be like, the leg is a bit long, that's not someone's leg. So that you focus on the subject matter, not if his nose is too big or whatever. But even that, it's work in itself. Yeah.
Nice. And have you ever dropped an opportunity that has been presented to you because you just felt you were not good enough yet to pursue that big opportunity? Or you felt scared, just outright scared?
Sure, I'm trying to think recently. Not really. If anything, I dropped that opportunity because I felt it's not worth the value in terms of a brand. It's not worth what they're trying to pay me. Or I'm doing too much for a little bit of like payment. Because I have management now.
I've seen.
I'm actually doing this behind my manager's back because I really wanted to do it, and he doesn't understand our backstory. Like when I first met you, he's just like, who are these people who? But on the come up, I know how I started also. Just I've given everyone opportunity for content, and I grew with people. So I couldn't just say no to you because you're not primetime news somewhere. I think I'm digressing now. I forgot.
No, I actually love where you're going. It's so honest.
I forgot what we're talking about. But the brands. So I say no to a lot of stuff because it's just every brand like that I work with and they pay me properly. They set a benchmark of this is how much actually I should get paid to have my name alongside your brand. So I've said no to a lot of stuff because it's not enough.
It's interesting that you say that because you and I are both in the call it visual arts space. I've got a different form of visual arts. You have a different form. But at the end of the day, it's creative. It's a creative space. And it's still such an industry that is not fully understood and fully valued, out there. And so one is in fact, it's funny you say that because I myself just recently said no, had to brave it and say no for a particular job because it was just the value, the pay just wasn't as exciting as the amount of work that needed to be produced. And you do get there, you do get to that point as a professional where you do have to put your foot down and look at, the relationship, and you have to assess lots of things, the relationship, the time that's required of you, the value that you're about to put out, there's so many facets to it. At which point did you get to that point? Because not everyone just wakes up there, When did you realize, no, I actually have a lot to add to this situation and this is purely taking advantage of me. And no, I'm going to bravely say no. When did you get there?
I'd say the timing was probably very perfect. It was probably late last year.
So
2019, the jobs that were coming in. And that was before now, which I'd say is my biggest year in terms of not only of the nature of brands, but just the monetary gain also. So I feel like I said no at the right time.
Okay.
Because then I set a precedent.
That's very important.
Yeah.
No at the right time. No, you can't wake up and then decide I'm going to be an artist and then start saying no from the get, right? One has to build relationships. One has to build themselves as well to get to a point where you do realize that, you know what, actually I bring a lot of worth and value, you know, and this is what that value looks like. And so I'm going to protect that value. Okay. All right. When the haters come, and surely they do come, do you have a statement that occupies your mind, that protects you from that hateration? What is that mental talk that you have with yourself that reminds you of how powerful you actually still are, despite what people are saying or despite what's going on around you? I'll give you an example with mine. You know, mine is, if I haven't seen your 2.0, don't come for my 1.0. You know, really what I'm saying is I am starting out, and if you are going to come criticizing me, you have to have had yours produced, done, dusted, because you're going to come to me with constructive criticism, not just hurling insults when you don't have a 1.0 of yourself. So I am only going to listen to people who are at 2.0 giving constructive criticism to my 1.0. That's really what I'm saying. What is yours? What is the thing that draws you back to
How
yourself?
do I compete with that? I think with me, I'll always say I've built my, like, ironically, just braving it. I've built my career of braving it and just taking chances and risks to be where I am. So whatever you see me put out there, I'm already at peace with the value and the quality I think it holds.
And the mental chatter, you just, it's, or is it your work and your belief in your work?
I think I believe in my work. I believe in
that destroys everything else that comes.
I think the work speaks for me. I think when words fail me, I
Perfect.
think my work speaks for me.
Perfect.
And I think there's literally something I'd say in the comment section.
I think it's your slingshot.
I don't have to say anything.
So your logo for Slaying Goliath is a slingshot.
It's a slingshot, yeah.
Which I absolutely love. I was like, that's how you're going to keep them quiet. Just use the slingshot.
Exactly.
And that's your artwork that speaks for you.
Yeah.
And it's never let you down, you know?
It's never.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I believe, in fact, someone said this. Her name is Brené Brown. She is a researcher, storyteller, and she's in the US. And she said, unused creativity metastasizes. It can turn to anger, to jealousy, to judgment, to regret. What is it about your creativity, David, that keeps you up at night? Is there anything that still concerns you about what you do?
Sure. I feel it might sound narcissistic but I really feed off the energy of, okay, I've learned to accept that I have fans, of my fans and my audience. When I put out the work, just how they receive it, how they share it, I think that keeps me going. Again, it's like an analogy to a singer who loves performing live, because who knows her fans and her audience and what they love. I can feel tired, I can feel lazy, but if I know there's a piece of work I'm gonna do and I know it's gonna be well received by my core fans, that keeps me going. I mean, the unfortunate news of Mshoda's passing today, for instance. I've had so many, and it's so sweet. Some people try to be so sensitive about it, but they ask me if I'm going to do a piece about it to help my thinking. And I'm just like, it's my lunch hour. I'm just trying to eat right now. But when I get home now, I'll probably do a piece because it's someone who's inspired me also as a creative growing up, her music. She did a lot for the Kwaito genre.
Absolutely.
So I think what keeps me going is the people who consume my work.
Sure.
Because it's not just clients who have briefs and who want logos and etc. There's the other side also of just everyday people who just love consuming my work and sharing it. So the people who love my work,
It's interesting because so people actually hit you up and they're like, look, this is what's happened. Are you going to do this? It's always having to rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
You know, being present in the moment. Yeah. Listening. It's exactly what I said earlier on. Listening, following, and just braving it and just producing it.
Definitely. And I've learned to be, it's so natural for me now also because I'm even more open now about when I don't feel like doing anything, not feel like doing a piece. Because recently Lewis Hamilton, the Formula One driver, I think he won. I think he broke the record of the most titles won or something.
Sure.
And I was just tired. I didn't feel like, it was like a Sunday evening. I just wanted to sleep, and people were asking me about it.
Put anything out there.
And I'm more open now to be like saying now I won't be doing a piece. So I'm more. It's not. It's not bad pressure.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have to do
Every
this
single time.
because I'm still an artist. Sort of. I'll release when I want to, when I feel like it. So much is happening every day. We live in South Africa, so I don't do a piece every day, but so much happens every day. So I'm in a good space in terms of when I feel like just sharing work.
Okay, excellent. So, as you know, I've followed your work for quite some time, and I've seen you put out some amazing stuff. Amazing. And I've seen several public figures put out there, and I've patiently waited my turn. And I keep thinking, Lerato, it's just a matter of time now. It's just a matter of time. So I thought, no, man, let me inspire him and give him a visual reference in case we're struggling. So my daughter and I drew this.
Oh wow, I'm doing this.
So my daughter and I did this.
That's so cute.
This is Braving It. That's a little mic right there for mommy, and that's Mami Kabob Yahaye, and that's
She's holding
Braving It.
the tea. That's beautiful.
So
you deserve a piece from me. Oh,
so
please
like,
nag me on that.
No man. I've been waiting.
I'll surprise you soon.
All right, guys, this has been amazing. David, you are phenomenal.
Thank you.
I could go on and on and on. And we should actually go on and on, but I think time is of the essence. I see the producers are letting me know, and I want to respect your time as well. But this has been so inspiring.
Really great. Thank you.
It's one thing to see someone producing, and that's something I have a big respect for. When you are gifted, when God has gifted you with talents, and you are utilizing them to the max, that's what you do every single time I'm on Instagram. I know I'm bound to come across something that you've produced, and I know where it's coming from. It's coming from your heart. It's coming from a place of sincerity, but excitement as well in living out your dreams. Thank you from a creative to another creative. Thank you for giving creatives the courage to put themselves out there. It's not easy, whether you are an artist, an actress, an artist in the sense that you're an illustrator, a speaker, a dancer. It's not easy to keep producing stuff that will inspire people and have people in mind as you're producing the work that you do. Thank you for your social commentary. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for your talent. Please do not tire. We are inspired by it. I am personally, as Lerato, inspired by your work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I hope that you will soar. I will keep you accountable. When I see you sleeping like a slap tiger, I'm going to wake you up, because you have literally the younger generation to inspire. And so thank you. Please keep that up. Do not tire.
Thank you so much for your kind words.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And so my last question to you, David, who would you like to see braving it with me next?
So I love Musaki, the singer. She actually messages me. We might work together if things go well. So
okay,
it would be beautiful if she's here.
Okay.
She's so humble and so grounded, and
really,
I think she's a huge star, but I don't think she knows it. So
okay.
I think she'd love.
No,
she'd love to be here.
Write down again. By the grace, we will have her here. And please watch the show as well.
I will.
So we will put out lots of episodes, and like Netflix style, you can binge watch. There's a lot of exciting people that we've already spoken to, had conversations with. So yeah, have a look and see, and let me know what you think.
Sure, I will.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. That was David Tshabalala, aka Slaying Goliath. Thank you for watching him. I hope that everything that he said will benefit you, will help you get out of your own way, will help you begin to unearth your own enormity. I'm Lerato Ditseho. Don't forget to comment. Let us know what you think of the show. And I hope you enjoy many more episodes to come. Thank you and have a great day.